According to Newton's law of conservation of energy, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So that raises the question of when we die, where does our energy go? Throughout the entirety of my own life, death and where we go after it has been something I've juggled in my mind, hoping to find an answer. I grew up in a religious home, but that didn't stop me from forming my own opinions about it. I find it important to expand your knowledge by opening your mind up to new ideas, so I often discuss death with my loved ones to see if what they think makes sense to me. I decided to interview two individuals, Carliana and Marie, who are people that I consider some of the closest to me. I hold closely and respect their opinions on a different number of matters, especially this one. Starting with Carliana, someone I've considered my best friend for the majority of my life. She had to endure the tragic loss of her little sister a number of years ago, which naturally expanded her thoughts on death.
My name is Carliana Young. I'm 22 years old and I grew up in Newark, Delaware. Growing up, my family was kind of religious and they grew up in the Catholic Church as well as I did. My views have changed about death after growing up because I've taken in account of multiple religions and what they teach, and I believe in reincarnation, starting a new beginning after death. I believe that some people get reincarnated and I believe that others, go to heaven, but I don't really believe that there's a hell. I think my opinion changing on life after death is always a possibility. I think whenever the universe gives signs or anything like that, I think that kind of makes me realize, oh, maybe there is more to this afterlife. So I don't think I have a definite opinion on life after death. Some people want that paradise and other people want to have that new beginning. So that's why I believe some people go to heaven, some people get reincarnated. I do want to get reincarnated, but also I want to go to heaven because I do believe that my loved ones are there. So either way, I don't think what I do decides where I go. I don't think anybody does. I think it's like the universe and God. Sometimes I'm like, oh, what if we don't have reincarnation? But then I think, oh, well, then we'll go to heaven. Other times I'm like, what if there's no heaven? But I'm like, oh, there's reincarnation because like rocks that the earth has given you, or the beautiful colors or rainbows and everything that the earth has created, that God is ultimately behind, that comforts me. Either knowing one or the other is a possibility. And I have doubts about one or the other. Neither is true. That's when I do have those doubts, but I think what comforts me is my belief in God. You have to find your reason for life, and you have to find your reason for either believing even in a God or the universe. But I think that there are so many signs around us and so many miracles that happen that you just need to open your eyes to. I think what comforts me the most about death is that peaceful ending and not the regular worries of life and getting to see my loved ones after. I believe that too many people look at the negative and either are scared of death or unsure of what comes after. But I think that even living in the life that God has given you, and the beautiful signs around you, that you should find comfort in that and not worry about what happens afterwards, because ultimately if you give your truest, happiest, nicest self to the world and God, then it ultimately will give back to you.
Next is Marie, my own mother, who has endured an overwhelming amount of death experiences, so her opinion has multiple opportunities to form.
Hi, I'm Marie. I'm 61 years old and I'm from Delaware. Growing up, I was Catholic. When you die, you go to heaven. The life you have is, I believe, is like a paradise in heaven, that you're the perfect age. And I believe you see everyone who has died before you. I believe you meet all them again. There's no sickness, no sadness. It's just all happiness and beautiful and wonderful. God forgives everyone. So I believe that the Lord will let everyone into the gates of heaven as long as He believes you are truly sorry for all your sins that you committed on earth. No matter what you did, I believe He will forgive everyone. Of course, the first thing I would do is want to thank the Lord for giving me such a wonderful life here on earth, and thank Him for, the wonderful children He gave me, the wonderful husband He gave me, and let Him know how grateful I really am about, Him giving my family to make my life here on earth that much better. I don't think there's anything that would make me change my mind on my beliefs, because I think at the age I am that I think that my beliefs are pretty strong. I'm happy with the path I have followed and will continue to follow. What I think it'll feel like in the afterlife is that you'll never be afraid. It'll always be warm and comforting. You'll never worry. You'll never be sick. So it's always going to be just perfect. And you'll always be surrounded by your loved one. You'll never be unhappy. You'll never feel that again as you do on earth.